The Alaska wilderness, towering whiteness and seemingly endless miles of game-rich lands. And here, the monarch of the realm is the great brown bear. He is the true man-eater of the American continent, the one animal who can turn the tables on humans and make the hunted out of the hunter. And the quest for him lies at the heart of this far north episode of the most aptly named Dangerous Game.
Right now we're in central Alaska hunting brown bear grizzly.
For Coloradan Tom Behunin, his bear hunt carries him from Denver to the 49th state, in the native language Alyeska, the Great Land. And the adventure is only beginning when he reaches the last frontier. The bush plane is the taxi delivery van and ATV of Alaska. And from the rear seat, on his way to his first brown bear hunt, a hunter can behold the panoramic vastness and dramatic features of the Great Land. But in his heart lies the realization that he is traveling into this remote country, not for the scenery, but to face the challenge of pursuing the brown bear.
I've not hunted grizzly before, and I'm really looking forward to having a great time.
Hunter Tom Behunin has hunted the big game of Colorado extensively. But when you've hunted enough, you raise your sights higher and higher and look for the harder test and the more perilous risk. And for him, that's brown bear.
Now, one thing I do want to kind of tell you guys is that you get these quiet nights like this, you got to really, sound will travel a long ways. So it's not that you got to whisper or anything, but it's, you know, we want to do everything that we can to make sure we get the bears close. Shooting them, you know, from the tent would be fine.
That sounded even better. Tom Behunin.
WL good.
WL?
WL, just the initials.
Sounds like a deal.
All right, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Tom Behunin.
Tom again.
Behunin, like bee hunting.
Behunin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's be like bee hunting.
Okay, we'll be hunting now.
Okay.
Sounds cool.
It's like Tom Bee hunting.
As well as Behunin and his gear, the bush plane has brought in the supplies hunter and guide will need for the duration.
We're going to shoot a little bit. See if I can hit anything with this. Hopefully you don't catch me flinching.
Whatever mode of travel a hunter takes to get to camp, sighting in his rifle before the hunt is always essential.
I'd say you're there.
Okay. Pretty good shooting. About a ½ inch apart. Well, I think I can make that happen. I was aiming right dead right there, so it's 1.5 inches, 2 inches high, right at 100 yards. So it looks pretty damn good, so yeah. I think we can make that work. Yes, sir. Wanted me to bring that target. Okay. All right, man. That's good. I'm happy.
Because of the brown bear's enormous size, it takes a relatively large bullet with both deep penetration and controlled expansion to bring one down. And as with most big game, the heart-lung area is the most lethal part. Among experienced hunters, the ultimate caliber of choice for big bears is the .375 H&H Magnum.
So there's a lot for them to eat here.
Yeah.
And things are greening up now. You know, the ponds are greening up and stuff, so there's vegetation too. You just got to get one to walk through and decide he likes the valley. But that'll happen. And that's why hunts are 8 days long. Yeah.
8 days. And as the bush plane's engine fires, hunter and guide know that it is about to take with it all contact with the outside world.
Crashing or weather can really play a big part. There's been times I've been stuck in camps for 6 or 7 days and your food starts to running out or water, and there's quite a few aspects that we have to look out for.
Now it is just hunter and guide, the vast Alaska wilderness around them, and the hunt for the brown bear.
Dangerous Game is brought to you by Federal Premium Ammunition. Every shot counts. Blackhawk, Honor as a way of life. Weaver, tough shots, rough places. Champion, shoot better, have fun. Global Rescue, worldwide field rescue and evacuation services. Artworks Taxidermy, for the discriminating hunter. Capture the memory of your hunt for a lifetime.
Hunter Tom Behunin has traveled from Denver to central Alaska on a quest for brown bear. But because he cannot fly and hunt the same day, he has time for a good meal and rest in preparation for tomorrow.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's go here. Get one called in today.
Yep. We'll see what's out there.
The next day, Behunin feels the excitement of his first brown bear hunt. With 18 hours of full daylight and twilight the rest of the time, the hunting starts early and lasts long this time of the year.
Well, the way we're hunting, and typically a lot of the hunting here in Alaska is done by what we call spot and stalk, which we find a vantage point that we set on and try to spot an animal that is moving or at least within range of us being able to walk to it and try to make a kill. These animals do not live in this area. They're constantly moving through and walking and traveling, and so there's no way we can try to look for one, go somewhere where we think there might be one. We just have to wait and let them come to us. We can see much further than we can walk.
The vantage point this is an old glacier field where the glacier left a great big boulder out in the middle of this flat, and over the years it's grown up and it's got some moss and a little bit of trees and stuff like that, and it gives us about a 20-foot height advantage over the flat. So we were overlooking an expanse of about 5 miles by 5 miles in radius.
Hours of glassing demand quality optics. A binocular or spotting scope must be free of distortion. A binocular should be comfortable to hold and also needs what is called proper collimation. This means the two eyepieces are in correct alignment to produce one clear image. A blurry image or bad alignment will lead only to eye strain, headache, and frustration.
Last numerous caribou and numerous moose. So if we were moose hunting, this would be a place to go, and caribou hunting. But since we're hunting grizzly bear, there's plenty for the grizzly bears to eat.
The long Alaskan day draws to a close with no bears sighted. That makes 1 down and 7 to go.
It's almost soup.
Yeah, almost soup.
Almost soup.
Yeah, chicken and corn.
Yeah.
That's good. We'll leave that spam alone. It's a standalone meat. Wasn't that special? That's really special, man. I've never seen a little baby
I
cat.
know, that's great.
Yeah.
Really.
That's unbelievable.
Over the next couple of days, hunter and guide experience the wealth of Alaskan wildlife, but without spotting a bear. But then, all that changes.
Yesterday, well, we had been glassing for a little over 2.5 days, and we had seen an incredible amount of different game of moose, caribou, and there were quite a few different varieties of birds. And then late yesterday afternoon, I think Tom spotted a sow with 2 cubs coming off of a hill about 1.5 miles from us, and they dropped down into the brush, and fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at it, actually turned out to be fortunate. They got into a creek that led to where our tents are set up, and the sow came in with the 2 cubs, and she saw the tents, and then she smelled them, and she turned to run away from that. She didn't like the man scent. And again, fortunately for us, the wind was blowing in our direction, so she didn't know where we was at, didn't have a clue where we were at, so she ran down near us, within 100 yards past the little hill that we were sitting on. So that was a great thing to see, the beautiful, beautiful animals.
We just had a sow and 2 cubs come by. That was real exciting, so that gave us an adrenaline boost. Yeah, she charged that tent for a good 100 yards. I'm glad we weren't sitting in tent.
Yeah.
In the tents.
Yes, indeed.
We've been in trouble, but once she seen the tents, she decided she would want to get them cubs out of harm's way.
Oh yeah, she was looking out for those cubs.
Yeah.
You can see she kept standing up and looking for them as she ran down through that thick stuff. Yeah, those cubs has got to have a daddy. So that's what we're looking for now.
Yeah, that's for dang sure.
The tail of the tape on a brown bear is breathtaking. This is perhaps the largest land carnivore in the world, so it's no surprise to see body measurements that jump off the charts. An Olympic weightlifter might have a 60-inch chest, but there's no comparison to the brown bear. And all that size can only hint at the enormous strength and power contained in the body of a big bear.
Their physical attributes are incredible. I mean, you get these big male grizzly bears that can weigh 800 pounds or more, and their claws can be 4 to 6 inches long, their teeth 3 to 4 inches long, and they're just incredibly powerful, and they're also so quick. It's incredible to watch how quickly they can move.
A brown bear can hit 35 miles per hour and cover 20 feet in less than half a second.
They're just an awesome animal all the way around.
No matter what caliber of bullet a brown bear hunter chooses, it does little or nothing to lessen the need for putting that bullet in the right place. The odds only worsen and the danger increases when follow-up shots become necessary. One person who knows what it's like to follow a wounded grizzly into cover is veteran Alaskan bear guide Scott Newman.
I was guiding a client from Mexico. It was on the last day of the hunt. It was about an hour and a half before it got dark. And we were running out of time. Spotted a good bear. We put a good stock on it. Got within 132 yards. I looked at the bear. I looked over at my client, and he had his gun down. After my glance at the client, I looked back towards the bear. The bear took 2 steps, and that's when the client shot. So it was unexpected when the client shot. The guy made a bad shot, and we walked up to the side after the bear went into the timber, and I looked for blood, didn't see anything, and I left the hunter on the beach. So when I went in the woods, I found the blood trail, and it was very wide and very heavy. And I got in about 70 yards. I caught a whiff of the bear. So I smelled the bear. I took one more step, and I stopped. I thought, man, he should have been dead by now. And if he's not, then he's not hurt as bad as I thought he was. I heard a twig break. I slid my safety off. I saw the bushes move, just like that. He was on me instantly. And it was all I could do just to get the gun up. And boom. After the shot, I realized he didn't go down. I have to shoot him again. So I lifted the bolt up, took 2 steps back. There was a limb about knee-high right behind me. I tripped on that. It went right under my shoulder blades. So he's on top of me with all his weight, and I'm kicking him in the throat. I kept trying to free my gun up. The next time I looked at the bear, he had my left foot in his mouth, and he pulled his head back, which pulled my red rubber boot off. And he dropped the boot out to the side and he started coming down on me again. So I just shoved the gun up in his mouth. He closed his mouth so hard, it crushed the stock and it crushed all the teeth on his right side of his mouth. He just started kind of gnashing back and forth. And got wounds clear to my shoulder on my left side and had some bite marks in my hand. And he started to turn away. And then he turned back and he looked right at me. And the look he gave me was just absolutely pure hate. And I thought, this is it. This is where he comes back and finishes me off. And he didn't. He turned away. I thought, time to leave. Somehow I did this miraculous backflip, jumped up and I'm standing there. And I turned and I ran on my heel for about 15 to 20 yards. And I got out of sight of the bear to where I could see the light through the trees on the beach. I pulled out my Marine handheld VHF and called in the blind, you know, hey, is anybody out there? And the Coast Guard came back to me immediately. I was medevac to Sitka Community Hospital via the Coast Guard helicopter. Sometimes you get the bear and sometimes the bear gets you.
Federal Premium Ammunition's Dangerous Game is brought to you by Federal Premium Ammunition. Every shot counts. Weaver. Tough shots, rough places. Dallas Safari Club. Promoting conservation, education, and ethical hunting worldwide. Gunslick Pro. Precision Gun Care. Global Rescue. The only field rescue service for hunters. And by High Country Taxidermy Studios.
Well, it's 5:30 this morning. As you can see, the sun's been up for about an hour now. You virtually can hunt 24 hours a day here in Alaska this time of year.
With nearly continuous daylight, a hunter can put in virtually limitless hours behind a pair of binoculars.
Typically, that's what we're trying to do. We're getting up very early in the morning, and so far we're staying out fairly late at night, getting a lot of glassing in, and that'll continue to be the process over the next few days.
Glass and glass and glass, and then you glass some more, and then you glass some more.
For Colorado hunter Tom Behunin, his Alaska brown bear hunt has turned into a marathon. If it's possible to wear out a binocular or spotting scope by staring through it, he's getting close.
When you're looking at a vast expanse like that and trying to glass and trying to catch something moving in and out of the willows is a real difficult hunt mentally.
Well, today we are going to go down this Clearwater stream here and go down to where it meets up with the Susitna River, which is glacier fed and silty, and we're going to go down and see if we can find a bear down there that possibly is chasing moose. And we'll sit there a while and look, and if we don't see something, we'll move further downriver and find another vantage point and keep looking, and hopefully we'll find a bear down there.
The strategy of waiting for the bears to find them has not panned out. So hunter and guide are going to go for the long shot of braving the weather and hiking far from camp into possibly better bear country. But for all their effort and exertion, it looks like the only thing they are likely to get is wet, although they do spot some old friends.
We just determined that what we seen over on the hillside was a big sow and 2 cubs. I think it's the same sow and cub we seen here a couple, 3 days ago. It was a tough hunt for us, really. Of the 8 days, we've seen bears 3 times, and again we've seen, I think it was the same sow and 2 cubs, and we glassed hard though. There's 3 of us. I bet you we totaled probably in 500 man hours of just glassing alone. So it was real tough.
Even if only figuratively in this land of the midnight sun, darkness is falling on Tom Behunin's first brown bear hunt. As the bush plane lands and rolls up, Behunin can say that he has given it his all. This tundra taxi will carry him back to so-called civilization, from where he will find his way home. But Alaska and his bear have left their indelible mark on him. And his first bear hunt will not be his last.
Disappointed. I mean, that's
return.
I won't say the main reason that I'm out here, but it is one of the most important reasons is to help the hunter get his bear. So I'm really disappointed that we weren't able to do that. But Tom took it well, so that helps make me take it better.
It's been a learning experience for me this time too. You know, I learn something every time I go out in the field. You know, it just makes me, even though I didn't get anything, it just makes me a hardened hunter and more determined. I'm not in it for just to kill something. I'm in it to have a good time, and that's my life.